Hi Flosstube, this is Katie Carney from Katie's Stitching, and this is my Flosstube number 16. It is the 8th of March in 2020, and it is a Sunday. I filmed 2 weeks ago, I think on the 22nd or 23rd of February. Last week I really wanted to film, but Sunday just kind of came and went. I had been away Saturday during the day. Mark and I went to Philadelphia. And then I just felt like I had a bunch of stuff I needed to do on Sunday, and honestly, I wanted to just sit and stitch. So in the afternoon, that's really what I did. Um, so I have definitely missed you all, and I hope all is well. Like I said, it's a Sunday, and I was considering not coming on. Mark and I were in Philly Thursday afternoon and evening for a show, a Philip Glass performance of his etudes, is that how you say it? By someone who tours with him. So we got home pretty late, and then I took a vacation day Friday and did some shopping Friday morning. Got a little haul at Joann's. And then in the afternoon, we left and went back to Philly, but we stayed overnight. So we just had like a late lunch, very early dinner. Checked into the hotel. He worked, I stitched. And then Saturday, we went to a very late brunch around noon, and then we kind of like walked around all day and just genuinely had a good day together. We sat in the Constitution Center. It's a museum down there based on the Constitution. Um, but so we sat down there in there. They have like a cafeteria area that you can just hang out in. So we spent a couple hours there, and then we saw the orchestra last night, and it was with the conductor from the Baltimore Symphony, and we saw her once before. She's really great, and she led Porgy and Bess selections, excuse me. So that was really good and really fun. And we spent all that time together because he's actually going to Europe. He just left. So I'm actually really glad I'm filming this, because now I can't just sit around and be like, I'm sad. He's going to be gone a week, and he's going for work. And I'm, of course, worried because of COVID-19. And then I'm worried because it's his first time traveling abroad ever. And he doesn't speak the language where he's going. And he does not really like to travel. So I wish I was going with him. I love to travel. I'm like, you need your, and so I'm like giving him all of the lecture of like, you have to keep your passport on your person at all time, and you need to keep a photocopy of it in your suitcase. And I looked up the address of the consulate where he's going, because I'm not a worried traveler, but I'm a firm believer in being prepared. You know what I mean? If you're going to travel abroad, you should just be prepared. And that's always how I've been when I've traveled. And I mean, I'm the same in the United States, except I don't have to worry about finding an embassy or a consulate. I just like to be prepared. So he's gone, and I'm sad. A whole week without him. I have a crazy week this week, though. I say that at the beginning of every video. I guess the thing is I'm busy and I don't want to be. Tomorrow I am taking, it's Pysazy, Pysansky or something. It's the Easter eggs that you put a hole in it at the top and the bottom, and then you blow out the actual egg, and then you decorate it. And it's an Eastern European tradition. And I'm Polish. Well, my grandmother is. And I've never made them. I've always wanted to. And my church is putting on a class, and it was only $20. And I had like a $60-ish limit on how much I would pay for one of those. So when it was $20, I was like, yes. So me and two of my best friends are attending that. So I'm sure on the next video, you'll have to look at pictures of my finished egg. And then I'm sure that there will be play-by-play on Instagram at Katie's Stitching. And then another friend this week has finally decided she wants to do a beginner stained glass class, so I said I would take it with her. I teach that class like as a co-teacher with the owner of the shop, so it's going to be kind of odd taking the beginner class. I'm actually hoping she usually offers 3 options for beginners: the heart, which I showed you that I made, a butterfly, or just a square. But there is a beginner shamrock that I've made once before that I have the glass all ready to make again. So I'm thinking about seeing. I don't really need the class. I could just do it on my own and be there. So I'm probably going to make a shamrock instead. And then I'm on the Historic and Architectural Review Board for the city. We have a meeting this week. And then we have a 7-member board at work. But then there's the Executive Advisory Board, which has about 50 members. And we usually meet twice a year. I'm technically on that board, although I don't vote or anything. But they're having a financial meeting on either Tuesday or Wednesday, and I have to go. It's virtual, but they're never fun because they're at night and, you've already worked all day. But, I'm sorry. Anyway, we're 6 minutes in. So I'm in my stitchy spot today filming. I got like 5 hours of sleep last night and 5 hours the night before and 5 hours the night before. So 1, coffee all day. And 2, I wanted to be comfortable, and this is much more comfortable than my computer where I normally sit. So I just pulled my computer over, and it's sitting on one of those Michaels carts that I bought, which I highly recommend. I love those things. Anyway, let's get to stitching. So market is going on. I think it's ending right around now. It's Sunday. Nashville Needleworkers Market, where many of the designers of cross stitch get together in Nashville, and then the shop owners go out and they make their big purchases for the year. Well, Nashville had a horrible tornado last week. Luckily, the hotel that this is in was not damaged, but I think that they had something like 25 people pass away. So what a time to be going to Nashville. And I feel like the cross stitch community should do something for the people of Nashville after, that's where we have this huge event every year. Anyway, I was not really into cross stitching last year for Nashville. It was very soon after. Like, people were still getting their patterns in the mail when I started cross stitching, but I didn't know what any of it meant. This year, I was like, I'm not going to buy anything. You guys, when I do haul the next time, it's just going to be all haul. I bought so much. I got Teresa Kogut, her patterns are not quite my style. She does a lot of like the angels and animals, and they're lovely, which is not my thing. But she came out with samplers this year, and one of them was a Christmas sampler. Had to have it. I got a Little House Needle. Oh, excuse me. Hang on. Sorry. I got a Little House Needleworks with 2 classic color work flosses. This is what I ordered like 2 weeks ago. I could just pull it up. So what I did was I went on Top Knot Stitcher's website, which is topknotstitcher.com, and I ordered through her. So I got the Lindy Stitches Mary Mary Needleworker, and I got the Nashville exclusive from Ink Circles, and then the other 2 that I mentioned. And that was it. And it was like $60 or something, which is a lot, but I was like, that's okay. I didn't do too much. And then this week happened, and I watched Beth Twist's Flosstube, and she started talking about Consider the Lilies, which is the companion piece to her oh my gosh, what is it called? I can't remember. His Eye on the Sparrow. Jeez Louise. Which is a huge piece that I really never thought that I would do. because I didn't like everything in it. But consider the lilies. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this because it's not going to be that big. It's beautiful and it's huge. And in her Flosstube, she's like, it comes in a book. And I was like, I have to have it because it comes in a book, so clearly I need it. So I emailed Top Knot Stitcher. I think her name is Abby. She got right back to me. I could add that, and then I also added, she came out with book plates that you can put on the back of your piece. So I added that, and she didn't charge me shipping again, which was really nice. And I was like, all right, you know, guess I've done some damage, but it's fine. And then everybody gets to Nashville, they're posting pictures, and I'm following along. Friday night, Mark's working in the hotel room, and Little House Needleworks comes out with Kringle's Little House. Have you guys seen? Everybody's seen this. It like took the world by storm. It is a department store. It's a department store. So I mean, I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to get it. And then yesterday, I go on to see if Top Knot Stitcher had it. She did, and you could get the thread pack. I had to have it. $50 thread pack, $24. It's all fine. Everything's fine. So I paid shipping this time because she was no longer combining, but I did add a note. I'm hoping that she'll just ship it all together so that we don't have to, like, she doesn't waste the money on postage for 2 separate packages. And also because, you know, I love my grandmother, but she thinks I get too much stuff in the mail. And she might be correct. But it's better if it all comes in one package. Anyway, Market it's been really exciting for me to experience it through Instagram, really. And I'm sure next week there will be the recaps on Flosstube, which is something to look forward to. And then also, it's the 8th, so it's day 8 of the second common threaded stitcher. And what that is you get there is a prompt every day for 31 days or 30, however many days are in March. And they ask you a question like, where's your local needlework store? What's your favorite designer? Your stitchy friend, introduce yourself. So I have been doing that, and what I do is I follow the tag Common Threaded Stitcher on Instagram, and it's so fun because I feel like I've started following a bunch of new people, particularly people who are like my age, and who have similar interests. So Common Threaded Stitcher is a lot of fun. I know some of you are just Flosstube people, but if you use the Insta, look up Common Threaded Stitcher. Today's prompt is, what's your local needlework shop? And I don't have one. So I'm going to, I mean, I guess technically right now it's Top Knot Stitcher because, well, she's got a lot of my money. But we'll see. Now I've bought all these charts and stuff, and I need fabric, and I guess I'm gonna have to buy some fabric. Darn. Although buying fabric makes me a little apprehensive, much like visiting a local needlework shop makes me, I can't tell what to do with this light. Makes me a little apprehensive. Anyway, gosh, if you guys haven't left yet, thank you very much. Let's talk about my whips. So last time I checked in was 2 weeks ago, which means we were starting another week of my Christmas Village Sal, which is the KC Christmas Village Sal. And I am currently working on this one. Oh, that's actually the right colors for once. And I didn't really think I got a ton done. And then I looked at like a before and after. And I mean, we're cooking. So this time what I did was I decided to do all of the outside. Make sure that was going to meet up correctly, and then I will do the fill-in. And if I have to fudge a little bit, it'll be fine. So I really like this. Sometimes I dread stitching on it just because the color changes are all the time. And then I get working on it and I start to really, really, really enjoy it. So I'll pick this back up again Monday, which is tomorrow, and we'll see how far I get. So that is my first whip. Usually I only have like 2 to show you, and I have been like a wild banshee with starts. So next is my office stitching. That needs a needle minder. Hang on. Just 1 second, please. So this is what I work on in the office, and normally, like, if Mark and I are going to Philly or something, I take it with me in the car. So it is Rain Showers, also by Little House Needleworks. I got this because it came with the 2 flosses and the pattern was free, and I was like, oh, I'll have floss. I'm not going to have any left, but that's okay. So that's what I'm working on. This is like office, or like I said, if, you know, when Mark and I are traveling. I got a lot done on this week. So I got some car stitching done. I had some time to stitch in the office. So I finally finished the house, and now I'm working on this like garden path here. But I've only used the one color so far, which is Stormy Night, and I'm already on like my 3rd or 4th cut from it. So there's not going to be any left, maybe a couple threads. And then the other color is Thundercloud. I don't know how to make that. There we go. So I'm enjoying this piece. I don't really get to stitch very much at work because I don't take a lunch every day. Sometimes I just work through. But there were a couple days this week where I needed a break. So I took it. So that is my second whip. And then I started, I think you guys have seen this already, I think, but it's also Little House Needleworks, and it is the Suffrage Act. Yeah, you've seen this because I told you that I'm making it for my friend. So I worked on this all last week. So I had finished Suffrage Act Proclaimed, and I think the line under here was done. So I'll work on this afternoon, but this is what I have going right now. So I need to add the red here, and then I did all of this, and then the bunting. This bunting took like an entire night. Then I did a Stitch With Me video, and it was a lot of fun. The only problem is, I started over in this corner. Can you see my mistake? Not good. Everything else is perfect on this piece. I have been ripping things out if they're not right, but I'm not willing to. I would have to rip out all of this. So my plan is instead to cut out or just stitch over. I haven't decided this, and this, and move them to the other direction, and then just fill in the bricks. So instead of the first brick, the mortar being here, it'll be down here, because 7 is less than like 50. So anyway, I really like this. This is also a Sal, and this is with the Stitching with the Sisterlies, who I love. They've been doing like farm tours with their chickens. I love baby chicks, they're so cute. And I eat a lot of eggs. It's a kind of a funny thing. I have eggs every morning, and then sometimes more than once a day. But put an egg on it has become like my tag because I love to make breakfast. I make it every day. So I'm here for the eggs and for their Sal, which is SWST Suffrage. I think that's it. Yeah. If not, I'll try to type it below so that you know. But I think there's like a lot. They mentioned in their latest Flosstube that a lot of people are doing this, and many people have finished. Like I said, I'm going to work on this today. I'm hoping to fill in the brick and then a little bit of red here today. We'll see. I'm gonna put something on Netflix and see what happens. And then I wanted to get all of the border done first and then fill in the rest. And then I might do, when I pull this back out, I might do another stitch with me over on Instagram when I'm working on the white dress, because there's just, it's a lot of white and I won't have to think about it. I could talk to you guys. And then, so I've said many times that the first person on Flosstube I watched was Stitcher Mel. And she just had a great giveaway. She hit 3,000 followers. Congratulations, Mel. I don't think you watched me, but you are why I started cross-stitching again. And I do love your Flosstube. And I'm also your friend Tracy that just started posting Flosstubes. I enjoy watching her also. So thank you for that. Oh, sorry. So, the second person I watched was Vana, and I just started hers from the beginning, and so I didn't know that she really wasn't recording anymore when I started watching her. Her tutorials are great, and then she's Roman Catholic like I am, and it's always nice to kind of connect with someone on that level, and she last year did a Lenten piece, and it was called Jesus, and it was Jesus with the thorns, and I think it's a kit from Hobby Lobby. I know it was a kit. I think she did it on Ada. I think she used the flosses that it came with. I know she had to rip it out and start again. But I loved the idea of having a piece that I worked on during Lent. So I decided I wanted to have an Ash Wednesday start. And Lindy Stitches came out with, hang on one second, and I'll pull off the pattern. She came out with, like the week before Lent, a new pattern, but instead of having it be a market release, she just released it right away. And it's called Alas and Did My Savior Bleed. It's beautiful, guys. I have my window open, so it's a little breezy, but it was so warm in my room that I couldn't deal. Hang on. Let me see if I can get this so you can see it a little better. There we go. It's beautiful. It calls for a 40 count. I pulled some white that I had from the Great buying from that woman who doesn't cross stitch anymore. And I just pulled some white from that, the last of the white actually. I don't know if it's 40 count. I don't think it is, because I think mine is much bigger than hers is. But as far as I know, it's going to fit. And then it called for, she had, I want to say gassed. Hang on, I'll check. All my magnets are sticking together. No, Classic Colorworks and Gentle Arts. I converted to DMC because I wanted to be able to go and get I decided I was doing this. I went to Hobby Lobby after work before a meeting, and I wanted to be able to just get it and start. So the colors, I didn't know until I was picking them out. The photos online don't do it justice, or my computer cell phone don't do it justice. It is an emerald green and a red and a black and a brown. Hold, please. Well, that didn't help. There we go. So the colors are beautiful, and I started it, so I had a meeting on Ash Wednesday, because that's when I bought the pattern, found the fabric, went to Hobby Lobby, bought the thread, and I started it that night when I got home from my meeting at like almost 8 o'clock. And that first night I got this band except for the black done. So the flower, this part is in black, and then this is the red, and then the vine is green. I want you guys to like see how perfectly beautiful this is. I love it. Like, I love it. I love this. Thank you so much for putting this pattern out, Lindy. I know that's not your real name, Stephanie. So, I love it. It is a joy to stitch. It's been the perfect Lenten piece. I worked on it Ash Wednesday, and then I got Alas and did my A on Friday night. And then the next Friday, because we've just had the second Friday for Lent, I got this, and this done. I had like 4 hours of 5. I stitched it a little bit in the car, and then we checked into the hotel, and Mark was like, I'm just going to work for a little bit. And so I stitched. I'm so glad. So I usually bring something in the car, but I won't always carry it with me when we go to like the hotel. And I have this in my newest House of Stitch and Stash bag, which I might get another one. She's going to stop making them. I have to get more. I don't. Anyway, I carried it, even though it was pouring down rain. Rika, by the way, if you watch these, your bags do well in the rain. It didn't leak at all. So the quilting and the plastic and the love that you put into it meant that my piece stayed dry. I love this. So I think a little bit about the words while I'm stitching it, but then Friday night I put my headphones in and I'm almost done my 50-hour Winston Churchill book. I have like 3 hours left, and I listened to that while I was stitching, and it's so great. It's gonna fit though, just barely, God willing. I might have this professionally framed. I haven't decided yet. It's such a lovely piece that I feel like it deserves that kind of love. It's just so expensive. So I don't know. That's a future Katie decision. So now that I've shown you all of my many whips, like 4 feels a little intense. Let's talk about haul. I don't have a ton right now because, as I said, my market haul, obviously, market's still going on. It's not here yet. Although I got a shipping notice from Abby at Top Knot, so something has shipped. I'm hoping, because it was like the 2 things that I shipped that I purchased the second order, not the first or the third. So I'm hoping that she'll put it all together. Fingers crossed. Anyway, back to haul. So the first thing is, I used to watch a lot of Doctor Who. A lot. I was really obsessed. I still am. Like, I'll rewatch when it started again in like 2009, or maybe before that. I'm old. I will rewatch a lot of that, like the Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant years. Those are my favorite. Once they left, I wasn't a Matt Smith fan, and I discovered it wasn't so much that I didn't like Matt Smith, but I didn't like the companions. And if you don't watch Doctor Who, you don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, Build-A-Bear came out with a Doctor Who teddy bear, and it comes in a TARDIS. And I came home from work one day this week, and there was this giant box. I had no idea what it was. And again, I've got my grandmother going, what the heck did you get now? And I was like, whoa, I did not order anything. Well, guys, my friend Erin got me the David Tennant Build-A-Bear, and I don't need this at all. I love it. And wait for it. His sonic screwdriver works. And he's got his little Chuck Taylors and his 3-piece suit. And his little tail comes out the back of the jacket. I love this thing so much. The amount of, like, detail is crazy. I've never had a Build-A-Bear. I've never been to a Build-A-Bear. I've never done it before. But I am impressed. It's a really nice teddy bear, and so he has a place of love actually in between my patterns and my floss, because my floss sits in binders. So I wanted to show you guys him. Isn't he so cute? And then, as I said, I went to Joann's Friday because they were having a floss sale, and I kitted up. I know I showed you guys my Mira Cinderella. So I bought the DMC. So this is the third Mira that I have. I've not made any of them that I bought the floss for. I have not, like, I don't go through my stash for them. I just buy, they're like 48 cents or something with the discount, because I always get them when they're on sale. I figure these are such big projects and I don't know when I'm going to get to them, and DMC is so cheap that I put them in a baggie with the pattern, and someday when I'm done that Mira, then they can be added to I use X Stitch to keep track of my floss. So I don't know if you guys use X Stitch, but I really like it. I don't really keep track of my patterns. I was starting to, but you can't store a lot of pictures. So I decided that that's what Instagram is for, but I use this specifically to see about if I have DMC, which I'm less stressed about buying DMC, but I joined a floss club for a variety of colors, and I just want to make sure that I am checking if I have, like, particularly the fancy floss before I buy more that I don't need. Then I got more needles. I think I have figured out that it's 24 that I like. So I got one at Hobby Lobby because I wanted to get a discount on something and everything was on sale. And then I got another pack of Joann's. Same reason. They're needles. They don't go bad. And then my godson's, sorry, I kicked you again. My godson's sister just turned 6. And I always get her birthday cake. And she had a unicorn themed party this year, the Tuesday before Ash Wednesday. So Ash Wednesday, I'm at Hobby Lobby buying the floss for my piece, and look what they had. It was $5. So I'm gonna whip this together one day this week. It's got a little, it is incredibly stuck together, but it comes with the stand. So you just stitch it and it's got the stand, and I asked her mother and she said that they would keep it. So I got that to make for her, my little Cass. She's so sweet. She's a little brat, but I love her. And then when I was at Joann's, I went in and I spent like, $11 on floss. And then I found a $15 magazine that I had to get, cross stitcher. I'm a sucker for these. They're up by the register, and I always check, and if I like the free pattern, then I get it. And this one it's a kit for a needle case. So I'm excited. I think that'll be fun. I made one of the kits for my boyfriend's mother for her birthday last year, and she is a seamstress, so actually if I can finish that, I might make it for her. And then there's always, like, I love these. I think they're a lot of fun. So anyway, new cross stitcher. The only reason I don't get, like, cross stitcher and cross stitch gold delivered to my house is I'm unclear if you'll get the free gift. And if I don't get the free gift, then I don't really need the magazine. And how many magazines do I need? Like, when does it become too many? So that's all the haul I have, but I wanted to show you guys so I've shown you my stained glass before, and the fall fused glass piece that I made. But so my first stained glass class happened, and then that weekend I took the fused glass class, and as I have told you, I'm not as good with fused glass because there's not really a pattern. You design it yourself. And that first class that I took really showed how, like, not good I am at that. But anyway, so this is the first piece I did in that. I did 2 that day. So this is just I cut squares and laid them down on a piece of clear glass, and you use a little bit of glue and you glue them down, and they fused like this. And it's greens and pinks. I wonder, Oh, maybe if I, hang on. I wonder if I put them in front of the window. The light with the window. No. Hang on. No, I don't think that's gonna work. But anyway, so it's like greens and pinks, and it's a little bit see-through. And then I did a St. Patrick's Day one also, just because my name's Katie Carney. Obviously my family's from Ireland, and so they were hearts that were already melted down like that, and then I cut the cauldron, and then I made the rainbow, and then the owner of the studio and my boyfriend's mother were like, "You need a cloud," and I did it because I was influenced, and I've never liked the cloud, and I have regretted doing the cloud ever since. So this is what's called frit, and so they're just little pieces of glass. That's what this yellow is also, of different thicknesses. So if you get kind of close, like there's purple is here, but it's very, very fine, so it almost looks like water on the glass. And then the yellow is thicker than some of the other. So anyway, those are my two first. You can see like the legs of my cauldron aren't great, or pot of gold. That's my first two fused glass pieces. So I wanted to show you guys those because we just pulled them out to put them up for St. Patrick's Day. So I love showing you guys things because it's fun. Anyway, I'm 36 minutes in, so I'm going to go over very quickly my plans. So this week I will pick up the Christmas Village on tomorrow, Monday. I don't know how much stitching time I'm going to have this week, but I'm hoping for some. And then Friday I will work on the Lindy Stitches piece, the Alas and Did My Savior Bleed. I don't think I'll finish that this week, but I do think I'll finish it next week without a problem, and hopefully have it framed before Easter and hanging on my wall. And then my plan actually is to continue stitching on something different Fridays. I started, you've seen it before, the Gingerbread Village, and I've got the first 3 done, and there's 8 more, I think. And one of them is like no, I have the first 4 done, and there's 7 more, but one of them is big. And I want that scroll rod. It's the biggest one I have, and I can't start anything else big until I clear it out. And then I do want to finish it, and that I will spend probably $200 to have it professionally framed. And then whenever it's done, it's going to my boyfriend's mother, whether it's a Christmas gift or a just because gift. That's what I've decided. But my thought is I will just keep something rolling on Fridays, either probably the Gingerbread Village, and then I think I might start my Glitter House Village, and then after that I'll probably start the Kris Kringle Village, but we'll see. Maybe it'll just be a village. Friday night will become my village night. I'm trying to figure out, like, because I want to do the Glitter Village, and then I also want to do the Kris Kringle, like, house, and I don't know where they're all going to go because they're all kind of big. And those are 2 that I don't want to give away because I love them a lot. So we'll see. But anyway, those are my plans. I hope everything is well for you. If you're doing Common Threaded Stitcher and I don't know, please tag me at Katie Stitching on Instagram so that I can follow along with you. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that my random tangents weren't too bad. And then thank you for keeping my mind off the fact that I am excited, happy, and a little worried for my boyfriend traveling right now. Fingers crossed he does not get the weird flu. It is in my county at this point. And the concern, of course, is I live with an 84-year-old. And then also, ironically enough, the second... So it attacks the old first, and then it attacks people who have cardiac conditions, and if I get it, I have a like 14% mortality rate, and that was fun to hear. I'm not terribly worried. We have food in the house. We could definitely quarantine. My boss is planning to go to Italy at the end of next month, and I'm hoping that the trip is canceled. We had a very frank conversation, and by frank, I mean I was frank. And I said if he went, that was fine, but he was going to have to quarantine at home for 2 weeks, and if he came into the office, I was going home and we were going to have to hire a professional cleaning staff to come in, because I'm not taking a chance of killing my grandmother. But it is coming no matter what. It's just, it feels foolish to take a chance. But anyway, I hope all is well with you. I hope that you have a good week. I hope that if you end up quarantined, you have enough floss, fabric, and patterns to get you through. I certainly do. Thank you all so much for checking in and hanging out and for being awesome, and I will talk to you soon.